Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Catching Up. I'm your host, Lauren Kalil. If you like listening to us talk about CrossFit news and everything that's going on in the sport, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel. On today's episode, we're catching up with longtime regionals athlete who finally punched her ticket last year to the CrossFit Games, Arielle Loewen. Arielle, how's it going? Looks like you got the sun behind you. Pretty good day.
It's a good day. We're here at the park, so I can't complain.
Did you get the opportunity to work out outside or do anything fun at the park?
Not today, but yesterday we had a little run outside. We had some tire flips, so I was soaking up
Ooh.
all the sun rays yesterday.
Are you enjoying a little bit of downtime after the open and quarterfinals right now, or has training pretty much stayed the same for you?
It's pretty much stayed the same. I train a lot different than I feel like most of my competitors. I'll only train 2 hours a day, so I really don't feel like I ever need to taper off or have a deload week. So my schedule just kind of stays the same throughout the whole season.
How long have you been doing that? Only 2 hours a day and still as fit as you are?
You're so sweet. I would say 2 hours a day. As it comes closer to semifinals, I'll probably ramp it up a little bit. As it came closer to Wadapalooza, I ramped it up a little bit. So I keep the 2 hours a day, but when it gets like a month out, I'll just ramp it up a little bit.
And so far, you've had a pretty good season. We just wrapped up the Open and quarterfinals. You placed 16th worldwide in the Open and then 10th in North America quarterfinals. Which stage would you say you had more fun with this year and enjoyed more?
They each had their own fun. The Open was fun this year. I recently joined a new gym, so I had this new community who like came out and supported me and just circled around me for the Open. And then quarterfinals was fun because it's a little bit harder test and there's a little bit more strategy that goes into it. So it's just fun to break down the workout, talk about it, do the workout, and then just like you get into the whole hype of the season.
Being in a new gym community, were you able to throw down with anybody at the gym or did you do them all by yourself? What was the atmosphere like?
The Open was by myself. For quarterfinals, I had a friend come down from Aggieland, so Texas A&M, but we didn't do them head to head because I didn't want to like hold his pace or he hold my pace. But it was just fun to have a fellow athlete to throw down with me. So that was a new experience, but a lot of fun this year.
Do you prefer having a training partner versus working out alone most of the time during the year?
Oh, definitely. I actually have my training partner. I don't know if you guys know him. His name's Joel Hughes. He won the Masters 45 to 49 in 2019. So my
Oh.
training partner is pretty fit. So it's usually me and him throwing down, and then I'll do the class WOD after we do our little special training.
Okay, wait, so you do 1 hour of, things that are specific to your weaknesses or strengths that you're trying to build on, and then the other
Right.
hour is class WODs?
Yeah, and I love the class WOD.
That's
So my
amazing.
my heart is just like for the community, and I feel like the community really makes you push harder, makes you go faster. So I always prioritize my extra stuff I do with my coach Matt, and then I'll do the class WOD as like a sprinkle of fun because you gotta keep it fun.
You do have to keep it fun, and I feel like
Yeah.
that also can really help with the longevity of the sport. How has your body, been feeling with this, hybrid of class WODs versus, training your weaknesses?
It's actually felt great. I knock on wood, I never wake up and like, oh, my back hurts, oh, my leg hurts because my volume isn't quite as much as the other athletes. I can kind of sustain and stay healthy. But we definitely will look at what the class WOD is for the week. Okay, what are we missing? Let's hit that Monday through Thursday. So we like base our stuff off the class WOD because we enjoy it so much.
You gotta enjoy what you're doing, especially when you're trying to be as competitive as you are. Last year,
Right.
you did quarterfinals, individual and team. Are you planning to do both this year again?
No, just individual this year. The team, they kind of suckered me into it last year, but I know the group that went that represented where I was had a lot of fun. But this year's just me.
So now what are you working on between this gap of waiting to go to your, semifinal and actually figuring out which semifinal you're going to?
Right now is just about maintaining. So I want to maintain my strength, maintain my fitness, and then just wait for the email to come in that tells me where I go.
Last year, you stood at the top of the podium at Granite Games. Do you want to go back to Granite Games or do you want to see if you can stand on top of the podium at a different semifinal?
Ooh, that's a good question. I Part of me wants to go back to Granite Games because you probably saw it was outside. It was in a gorgeous stadium. So part of me wants it's familiar. I'd love to go back to it. And I don't know. Tennessee, I've never been. So it'd also be fun to go there. I'd love to. Probably my number one pick would be Granite Games.
Mhm.
But there's also the pressure of like, I've been there, I've won it. I can't go and take second place now.
And that's what
You
I
know
was
what I mean?
always wondering because, like, you did
Right.
it. You took home the biggest prize there was there, but also it has
Right.
it's a different feel with it being outside, but in the same breath, it was hot as hell.
Yes.
Would you do any heat training leading up to that? Maybe not last year, but if you knew you were going to Granite Games this year to possibly prepare for those extreme temperatures for long runs and workouts outside?
I think it'd be smart. Granted, I live in Texas, so yesterday it was 90 degrees and we were running outside. So we kind of train in
You're
that
used to
element.
it.
Exactly. So part of me would love to go back because it's just like home.
Sure. Standing at the top of the podium
Hmm.
next to two teens, Mal O'Brien and Emma Carey.
Yeah,
What was that like for you?
it was cool. I I guess I was just in the moment so much that I was on top of the podium. I didn't really pay attention to much else, but I just think it's neat to be in that environment with them and see like how far they came, how far I came, and that
Mm.
we're all there together. It was fun. It was cool though because I didn't really talk to them much at all backstage. But as soon as the event was over, it was like instantly walls were down. Everybody took a deep breath and we all just like
Yeah.
talked a ton.
Do you find that the
Fun.
semifinals or even Wadapalooza and some of the other like off-season competitions, you do get to know the athletes better because the pressure is a little bit lower than maybe what your experience was at the games?
Oh, that's so true. Yeah, I really started to make friends at Rogue because everybody was kind of just there for fun. And then at Wadapalooza, it was just like icing on the cake. I got to know Danny Spiegel better. I got to know Bethany Shadburn better. So just like seeing these big time athletes, just so relaxed. It was so much fun.
I mean, you're a big time athlete too. You were at the games. You stood there with
I know,
them.
but it's just so different seeing these people on a computer screen and then in person. It's just, it can't help but be a little starstruck.
For myself and maybe the other viewers watching, would you say that some of the athletes are the same as what we see on Instagram and social media as they are in person? Or is it almost like, they're so verbal on social media and maybe a little bit more timid in person? What is that like?
The coolest one, so here's a good example. I've only seen Bethany Shadburn on Instagram, right? So backstage at Wadapalooza, I look over and this girl's doing like this awesome mobility work to get her hips loosened up for the
Mhm.
thruster bike. And so it was like exactly what you see on Instagram. That's what she's doing to warm up. Same with Spiegel was
Oh,
funny
cool.
because she's goofy, loves food on Instagram. And here we are in the tunnel and she's talking about like, oh, I can't wait till I have fries after this is over. So just like those personalities are real.
I love that. And we
It's,
can hear, is that your daughter in the background?
yeah.
No, that's perfect. Do you want to put her on camera? Do you want to show her?
Let's
Show your
see.
daughter.
Let's see if it'll flip around. Right now she's playing in the dirt. See if you can see her there.
Oh, yeah, she's out there.
Yeah, she is. She's having a good time.
What has it been like being a mom and also training? How do you balance that?
I think my schedule makes it doable because I'm only up there for 2 hours. But there's days where it's hard. The gym I recently switched to has an awesome kids' room with a TV, toys, books, chairs, food. So she's living her best life for 2 hours while I'm training.
Oh, yeah.
But I definitely, even if I wanted to train more, I can't because it would mean she's up there at the gym for longer, and that's just she can only take so much. So my schedule makes it easy for that to happen.
I
Being a
think it's
mom,
so cool because we're getting to the point in this sport where we're seeing more high level athletes as moms. We have the Cara Saunders, we have the Annie
right?
Thor's daughter, and they're birthing humans, making life into the world, and then they're coming back and absolutely crushing the competition floor. How does
Yeah.
having a daughter maybe fuel yourself or give you that fire when you're on the competition floor?
You just like you're doing it for something other than your selfish reasons. Like knowing my little girl's at home watching and knowing like I come home to a little girl who loves me kind of changes my priorities a bit. And it also makes me very intentional with training because I only have 2 hours. I'm in there, I hit it hard, go home. Whereas some people might have more time so they can do more stuff, but they also take longer and just really prioritizing what's important and your time in the gym.
Yeah, sure. I totally get
Mhm.
that. Going to the games for the first time, what
Yes.
were the highlights? What were the challenges? What was the overall experience like?
Overall experience was overwhelming starting and throughout the whole weekend. But as soon as I got home, I was like, that was so much fun. I want to do it again. But definitely the highlight, I'm sure you see all the time, all the noble clothes. The shirt, like millions of
My
shirts, millions of
god.
shorts, millions of shoes. It's like I want to just go back so I can get the
Lots
latest
of
noble stuff.
things.
That was definitely a highlight. And just the low light was just you don't realize how stressful it is and how
Yeah.
much like these athletes they compete, they relax, they compete, they relax until you're there and you do it.
Anything that you learned last year that if you punch your ticket to the games this year, you'll be happy that you have a little bit of experience and you know, "Oh, okay, I'm not gonna do that," or "I'm gonna do this year from my first experience."
Yeah, probably two things. The first one was the first kind of 2 days, I was like just getting my feet under me. Now, if I make it back to the games, hopefully, I know I can do it and I know I can compete with those girls. So just having that mental confidence. And then number two, just being prepared with food backstage. I was the one who like didn't have anything but granola bars. So it just made it hard the first day to be like, oh, I need actual food. I don't have anything. So just being a little bit more prepared.
How do you prepare with the food though? Because they corral you and you never really know how long you're gonna be places. Like, do you have to have a coach there with you or like an extra body that can like be your food supplier almost?
You kind of need a little bit of both. That's what I realized. But a lot of these athletes have the Yeti coolers stacked with food, but there's also no microwave backstage. So it's just, it kind of depends. You could have a food runner, you could have food already prepared. I don't know. I'm going to definitely
Hmm.
put a lot more thought into it, hopefully, this next time around.
I feel that we could put a request in to get a microwave down where
Right?
you guys are hanging out. That doesn't seem like a tough ask,
I
right?
know. Maybe there was one and I was just unaware, but yeah, yeah.
No, I think
I'll
I've
let you
heard it
put the
from
word
other
in.
athletes too. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna fish into that for
That'd be
for the
great.
athletes, keeping them
Thank you.
fueled properly.
Right. I love it.
What is the ultimate goal going into semifinals and then hopefully punching your ticket to the games this year?
Yeah, definitely going into semifinals, I just want to qualify and be healthy. Going into the games, I would love to do better than I did last year. So we're talking 13th or anywhere above that. And I mean, ultimately, top 10 would be amazing. But really, if I can be healthy and just get to the games, I'll be on top of the world.
Awesome. Arielle Loewen, thank you so much for catching up with us. It's been such a pleasure chatting with you, learning about, I love the hybrid, the CrossFit class
That's
workout to be part of the community and doing a little bit of your own thing and you're still super fit. So,
Thank
very
you.
impressive.
Thanks for having me on. Good talking to
Yep.
you.
You too. Take care.